It's taking some time. Okay, so Subhani, did SAP installation problem resolved? Means do you have access now to your system?
No, not yet.
Not yet, huh? Okay.
No, actually, it's because of operating system only we got that.
Yes, it needs Windows, means I think earlier versions, not 7.
Yeah.
Okay, so just forget about the program. Just say this is a program. Now, what to say? Everything is commented. This is not the example. One second. Okay, say suppose this is a program, and in this program you have declared many data with the reference of a data dictionary entity or object. Now suppose this is a data dictionary object, anything like this one, this is a data dictionary object. Now if you double click on it, it will immediately navigate you to data dictionary. See, it will immediately navigate you to data dictionary. It will show you this particular field is from which table. So that's what it is talking about. Integration with the ABAP workbench. You can navigate from here to there. Data integrity we have covered. Node redundancy. Integration with ABAP workbench. You can navigate easily. Basic objects of ABAP dictionary. Now we are directly jumping into the screens. Now what are the basic objects of a ABAP dictionary? Tables store the information in the database. Data elements, domains are the okay. So now as I said you that database only understand the tabular format. Now you are going to you are trying to create a table. Now what does the table contain? If you can see this, suppose this is a particular table. This is a particular table named QMEL. This is created in database. And another most important thing is that like anything created without the name of Z or Y will be considered as a SAP standard object. Means SAP India or SAP Labs people have created those objects only. These are automatically coming with the SAP installation. Now anything you find which is started with Z or Y, it should be it will be a customized object. Means you have created or somebody else like you or me have created those objects. So like this is a QMEL, so this is already inbuilt SAP created table. So just take an example of this one. Now what does a table contain? Now as the name suggests table, so it should have some columns, some rows. So now each and every column is named as a field. It should have some field, like for your Airtel example, like your address table. Address table should have some 3 to 4 fields, like first field should be your mobile number, second field should be like your name, third field should be your street, fourth should be your city, 5 should be your pin code, your state, your country, your email ID, like this kind of fields. And each and every column should be a particular field, and each and every row represents the number of records. Suppose first row is your number, your record. Second row could be mine. Third row could be X, fourth could be Y. So like this, each and every row will add, the table will be populated with values. Now how those values will look like? So there are certain buttons. I will come one by one. Just try to follow what I'm saying right now. So suppose this is a table. This is certain. These are the field names or column names. It is asking for how many fields in the selection screen. Just select any. So this is a local test systems. So just don't afraid of any error message or anything. It can show you any kind of surprise messages, but you can play with the system. You can learn a lot of things. So okay. So this is what selection screen will cover. Selection screen also. So for the time being, just see that how a selection screen look like. Selection screen will provide you an interface or application. See, this is the kind of application. Means in your screen, it will expect something from you, and if you will expect something in written format, like I want to put something and I want to see what those entries are holding. So like this is some certain fields. I'll not put anything, I'll just execute it and I'll see how many entries are there. So this is what this table is holding in the database. So now see, this table is showing some lot of data. It doesn't mean that this data is coming from ABAP dictionary. All those data is coming from Oracle database. Now immediately whenever you press this button, this ABAP dictionary understood that I need to, as the user didn't mention any kind of criteria in the selection screen, so this ABAP dictionary immediately understand that I need to fetch all the data. There is a certain criteria like select entries 200, so it is by default. By default it will not show me maximum 200 entries, because maybe there are more thousands of entries, and if it will like to get all the data, if you press this button execute, it will try to fetch all the data and it will take much time. So whenever you execute, it will show the data, whatever the data is available. This is may not be some good data because this is a test system, see some fields are empty, so there is no meaning, just for testing purpose. So it should be some value like this is 1 column, 2 column, 3 column, 5 column. And the first field is mandatory. Mandatory means it will show you the client name. So I have logged into client 800 and this data is specific to client 800 only, kind of like independent and dependent data in SAP, client dependent, client independent data. So this is what a table look like. It is having a certain number of rows, columns. If you double click on any of the entries, it will show you the particular that row detail. See, you can do much more details with this. These many fields or these many columns are there in the table. Maybe 100, it could be 1000, whatever. All the fields and everything has been started with some particular name format, but not Z or Y. So that it should be understandable that it is already created by, or it is already provided by SAP. See, if anything is started with Z or Y, that should be a custom object. Okay. So that's what a table is. Now let's move into the individual characteristics. Now we have seen that there are a lot of fields. Now what is a field? A field will just represent the particular column characteristics of the column name, or what kind of data that particular column could have. Now what is a field is having? Now if you see that in the table, see this is the field name, corresponding to that it has a data element. It is showing what kind of data it is. QMNUM. This is of type char. This is of length 12. It should have, what is the decimal place is 0, and it is having a short description, notification number. Now these 4 things we need not have to provide. It is automatically fetching those details from the data element. Now what is a data element? Now whenever you are going to try to create a table, just let me create a table for you. Suppose set test Subhani. If you just press create, what happened? Oh, sorry. See, if you want to do something and you have done something wrong to SAP, immediately you will find a message. What it is showing? Table Z underscore test Subhani underscore not permitted at second and third place. Means you have to create it like this. Z test. Means after Z, immediately after Z or Y, you cannot put underscore. And as I am going to create a table with Z, I want to create a custom table, I need to create it with Z only. See, if I try to create without Z, what will happen? Press the create button. See, it will immediately ask you for an access key, because I do not have authorization to create any object in SAP with that kind of a nomenclature. I need to follow the standard rule. So what is the standard rule? It should be Y or it should be Z. Mostly earlier it used to means people used to provide a Y, but recently, not from recently, means from long back only, everybody is preferred to use Z only. Okay, so just press create, put some description test, leave these fields. I will come to these fields after some time. Oh, it is asking for that. Okay, now field. You can put something, some standard field also, anything. Suppose Kunnar is a standard one and is a standard data element. Immediately you press enter, you will get what is having with the data element. It's already created. Now if you want to create something custom, something at your own, suppose this is the one field and this is one data element you want to create, but this is not there in the SAP system. So if you, whenever you press enter, it will pop up a map. It will say that this is not active because this one is not at all created. So just double click on it. Save before existing, yes. This thing I'll come to you later. Just follow the screens what I'm doing. So right now I'm creating a, see, it will ask for whether you want to create this data element, as this data element is not created. So what exactly data element is? Now data element is a ABAP dictionary object which holds the characteristics description of a particular field. It will hold only the characteristics description. Now that field could be a character, this field could be a numeric, this field could be a kind of sales order, this field could be a kind of material. So it will hold the characteristics description, and immediately you go inside this data element, you will find it will ask for a domain name, and domain is also like similar type of thing, means you can get any domain which will coming from the data dictionary. Otherwise you can create your own domain. Press enter, it will say that it is not active. So I need to create a domain also. Okay, yes, I want to create a domain. Now what domain? Domain will hold the technical characteristics. It will tell you that if this is a sales order, yes. Now data element will hold you the characteristics description, means it will tell you the description kind of knowledge. Means suppose if this Z Shubhani is a numeric field or numeric or a sales order, it will hold the sales order data. So in the data element you will just describe like that, this is sales order data. Now what kind of data that sales order data will be? In the domain you will find that details, like it could be a character, it could hold up to 10 places, it could have some 2 decimals, it could have some sign, plus minus, you can say plus minus. If you take it, see there is a button called lowercase, so it could be lowercase, uppercase, so all the details. You can put some character, it could be hold up to 18 characters, so like this information you can provide. Conversion routine. Conversion routine is another thing, like suppose sales order field, like our earlier table. Just let me show you that what is the conversion routine. Conversion routine means it will convert whatever data you give to a particular field, the data will be converted to its own type. Suppose for a particular field can hold up to 10 field. Like what is our table name? Let's take an example of KNA1. Check the entries. See. Now this Kunnar has some 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 10 or 12 entries in a particular row. It can hold up to 12 characters. Okay. So whenever you pass 1 to this field Kunnar, what it will do? It will not store 1 in the field. It will keep 1 at last and it will place zeros in all the remaining spaces. So that's what a conversion routine is. Now what it will do the conversion routine, it will just convert in a particular format. Now you can assign your own format. Say, see, whenever now this is a Kunnar field, standard one, a standard data element is declared. Double click on the data element, it is showing that customer number 1. So it is holding the characteristics data. What is this? Customer, field level. If it is a 10 customer, like this, means what kind of, you see, for long characters you can put some long description also. So it will hold the only descriptive kind of knowledge information. Double click on the domain, it will hold the what kind of data type, number of characters, output length. There is no sign, but there is a conversion routine attached to it, alpha. If you double click on it, it will show you 2 function modules: conversion alpha input, conversion alpha output, this kind of things. So what this conversion routine is doing, it is attached to a conversion routine. Whenever you put 1, this function module will convert that 1 to 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, like that. Okay, so this is what about data element and domain. Now see, table 1, table 2, table 3. Table 1 have a particular data element, table 2 is using the same data element. Now both the data element can have a same domain. Yes, it's possible, because data element is nothing but a characteristics data. Now as you have seen Kunnar, you can this Kunnar data element will hold the customer number. So it's already there in SAP. Now whenever you are going to try to create your own table like Z Subhani underscore customer, you can use the Kunnar also. If everything is like, if you want the similar kind of functionality, you can use the same Kunnar data element. Likewise domain also. As this particular domain is having 10 characters to decimal or 10 digit to decimal, and I want the same one, same kind of a requirement or character, so I can just use the original existing domain. So it could be like multiple data element could have a same single domain. Likewise, multiple fields, table fields could have a single data element. Okay, is it understandable?
Yeah.
Okay, just let me know if any doubt. Huh?
Okay.
Okay, so database utility, this is nothing but an interface. So this is data dictionary, this is database. In between this there are some interface is there. Database utility summary, that's all about the first slide. So this is the basic things of ABAP dictionary of table. Okay, now what next? Okay, now dictionary objects. Now we'll find what are the dictionary objects. Yes, access the ABAP dictionary, discuss the basic objects, domain, data element, table, etc. Define and create a table, data element, and domain. So I already covered some of the things. Just let pass the things. So the transaction code is SE11. So just let me show you once again. See, in SAP, today I'll say one line that will be I'll be repeating that particular line most of the times in further classes. Like in SAP or in ABAP, they have created n number of ways to do a particular single things. Suppose data dictionary. To access the data dictionary, SE11 is a transaction. This is the transaction where you can create database table, views, data type, group, domain, search, whatever it is you want to create, you can create. There is another table. You can even view the table entries also. But this is not enough. If they decided that, okay, I will not provide you the create access, they may provide you this access, SE12 transaction, SE12, 1, 2. In this transaction, you can view everything, but you cannot create anything. There is another transaction, SE16. This is also same. Whenever you press enter, it will immediately go to the selection criteria. It will not show you the field names. There is one more transaction, SE16N. It will show you directly the field names, and in the same way you can provide the values here. So by all those 4 transactions, if you want to view a table, you can achieve from all those 4 transactions. But SAP has provided you multiple ways. So in the coming classes, I used to say this line again and again, because I will show you that there are so many ways of coding, so many ways of doing these things, but we will pick up the best one. We will pick the most best one, means which is performatically good, because everything at the end of the day, performance which does matter. There are a lot of ways I can access the database, but what does it mean? What is matter at the end of the day? It should be the performance. Means whenever I click anything, it should return me how fast it can return me. So performatically, from performance point of view, we will pick those options only. Like there are 10 options, means we're not, maybe we can go through all the 10, but or sometimes we'll just recommend or we'll cover only this 3 to 4, which is using or knowledge purpose. You can go through the slides, you can go through the books, anywhere, exam purpose, whatever it is. Okay. So transaction is SE11, SE12, SE16, SE16N. So various kind of transactions are there. Basic objects of data dictionary, yes, data element domain. This is the pictorial representation. What could be a table? KNE1 is a customer master table. It could be a tabular format like this. Object navigator. And this is what above workbench is? Above workbench is nothing but SE80 transaction. If you press SE80, see these transactions that day, earlier day, what I told you that this is like a web browser. Instead of website name, I'll put SAP understand some transaction. So this is kind of like website only. So SE80 is a kind of a transaction. If you put in that place SE80, it knows that which screen I need to show or which application I need to pick. So it will pick you it will provide you the SE80 ABAP workbench access application. So it will now show. Let it come. Yes, it's come. So this is what a object navigator. This is the ABAP dictionary. ABAP workbench. So here you can do some internet problem. Okay, we'll come to it step by step. See, this portion is not able to, I'm not able to view it. Something is problem with the internet, or maybe leave it right now. So in object navigator, we can we can see development class, programs, object, all those things. Object navigator. Now this is the way we can create a table. I have shown you. This first screen will come. You need to provide some description. Then in the first step, I have provided something. Now we will discuss about this something. What exactly is this tab's meaning? So what is this? This is a tab of delivery and maintenance. Well, let's jump into the table.